Hello, parents and guardians of the class of 2027. My name is Joe Reedy. I am the principal of this amazing high school known as MASH, Mechanicsburg Area Senior High School. Today, I am delighted to share a presentation. It is known as Parent Coffee. We used to have people in the building, our incoming freshman parents, and we would serve coffee and just talk about the school year ahead for our freshmen. We have taken more of a virtual, digital video sort of approach. We get more views that way. And that way you can also share the information with family members, grandparents, and other stakeholders who are so excited to send their kiddos here to MASH as 9th grade students. Tonight, you'll also get a chance to meet our assistant principals. We have snippets of each of them, and they're very excited to see you and also meet you at back to school night coming up September 7th. More information in this presentation will also be on next week's freshman orientation, which is scheduled for Wednesday. A little bit about myself here. As I wrote in my letter this summer to you, this is my first year as principal at MASH. This is my 14th year in this outstanding high school, and I have served Northeast Pennsylvania, teaching social studies as well, before becoming a social studies teacher here. So with that being said, enjoy our presentation in front of you here, and we look forward to meeting you in person coming up real soon, and your students at freshman orientation on Wednesday.
Good afternoon, class of 2027. Welcome to a fantastic school year. I'm Mrs. Mefford, one of your assistant principals, and so excited to be with you this year. Go Wildcats.
Welcome, class 2027, to the new school year. I am Jim Hale, one of the assistant principals. Looking forward to having a great year with you. Go Wildcats.
Welcome, Wildcats, class of 2027. My name is Mrs. Roberts, and I'm excited to be here with you and experience this year, meet you and your teachers. Go Wildcats.
All right, so some highlights of our Parent Coffee presentation include our transition from the middle school to the high school and what that transition will look like during the freshman year. A little bit later on in our presentation, I'll share some information about freshman orientation, which is coming up on the 23rd of August. That's next week on Wednesday at 11 a.m. in the auditorium for students only. And we'll talk a little bit about advisory period as well as freshman academy that takes place for every 9th grader during IE period. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. In addition to MASH, the transition to MASH, we will get into a little bit about our academic program, social life here at the high school in terms of getting involved and learning outside the classroom, and as well as our career focus. As believe it or not, the students in the class of 2027, that day upon graduation will come up really quick, and so we'll get into some information about how we help our students become career focused. The transition to high school is something that's critical and very, very important to the life of a student. And I'm sure, as your children were nearing the end of 8th grade and hearing more information about the high school and speaking with school counselors and hearing a little bit about what to expect, I'm sure there's been some thoughts on their mind, maybe nervousness, excitement, which all those are normal and healthy. And at our freshman orientation coming up on the 23rd, our intent for that day and for those several hours is for students to interact with our staff. Students will also interact with teachers on their schedule, as well as some of our upperclassmen leaders who will share with them some tips, expectations, things that they wish they would have known. Not to mention interacting with our MASH administration and counselors. One of the things they'll hear on that orientation day from our team, administration team, the counseling team, and our students, but also their teachers, is this high level of expectations of a responsibility that students take for their own actions, and this importance of managing time. Now, although we have 2 semesters with block periods, which one of the benefits of that is not having as many classes, majors and minors to think about, but still, though, it's important for students to manage their time and take responsibility. In addition to that, as we know from adolescence, this is the time in their life when they're not only finding more about themselves as people, as citizens, but also as what it means to belong to a relationship and to groups, and to learn how to, to manage conflict and to have a healthy relationship, not only with their friends, but also with adults that they're around every single day at the building here. Healthy decision making is going to be a skill set that students will be learning in Freshman Academy, as well as advisory period. And really within our curriculum, the way that our curriculum has been adapting over time is that students are learning what we call transfer skills, problem solving, learning how to think about perspective. And so these are the skill sets that will be kind of weaved in throughout our programming. And really the goal is to help students be impacted with their behaviors, both academically and non-academically. Another element of the mass transition from middle school to high school is that every freshman is going to be part of career development in their second semester. And in addition to other opportunities throughout their year, they'll have the opportunity to start planning for their post-high school life. And although it's not an expectation that they know 100% for certain what they're going to do, and that's normal for a lot of people, even into their 20s. Our goal through our Project Dreams and Grad Project is that our students are going to understand sort of the path that they want to head to. Here's our bell schedule for the upcoming school year. It's our fall semester 2023-2024. And it will look similar for the spring semester. And so I have this graphic up here. Your students will get a copy of this on their first day with us at freshman orientation. And of course, we'll go through it, walk through them together on the days that they do report for the first day of school the week after that. But as you can see, we have 4 class periods on cycle days 1 through 5. Having 6 cycle days is not new for our students here, our freshman students coming in. They've been used to that. And so on the cycle days 1 through 5, you have 85-minute block periods. This allows, many benefits of this, for students to focus on just several courses instead of maybe 5 or 6. And allows teachers and students to dive deep into learning and have meaningful activities that really allow students time to think, to process, to apply, to create. Really exciting. And this is the several years we've been into this model of scheduling. And you'll see there that period 3 is where we include our lunch. Students will be giving more information as to when they know which lunch they will have. And so they'll get more information when they're with us at freshman orientation, as well as the first few days of school when we meet with them during advisory period. You'll see here that there's also an IE period. It stands for Intervention and Enrichment. Every 9th grader will have Freshman Academy, and this is going to take place during the fall semester, and then likely most, if not all, of the spring semester. This is our second year with Freshman Academy, and we learned about its successes and also learned about ways that we can adapt it. But it takes place every day during cycle days 1 through 6. And they'll have different teachers for each of those cycle days, but they will travel with their advisory groups to each class. The intent for Freshman Academy is that they'll also have opportunities to visit their teachers if they need support with our hallway pass system. They'll also be able to seek enrichment out also from teachers if they need more assistance on any sort of homework assignment or activity. Day 6 is a little bit different. You'll notice that there is period 5 and 6 mixed in. Period 5 and 6 exist for several reasons. One of those is to offer programming that normally would not take place during periods 1 through 4. This is the time where our music program and our minor courses could have more time for their students. And it's also a time that our student services can also exist, all within the school day. So case managers meeting with students, as well as several interventions that are available to all of our students. We have help desks. We have an intervention called Power Hour where a couple teachers from subject areas are grouped with a small group of students. We have mentorships available during this time. We have student peers meeting during this time, and a number of different activities that exist during periods 5 and 6. Advisory is something that I'm very proud of here at MASH. It's been a long-standing tradition for a while where every staff member has a group of students that they have for 4 years, the same group for 4 years until they graduate. This year I am proud to have my junior group. I've been able to have, in my time here at MASH, 13 years here, I've had several advisory groups come through, and they become almost like your family, your children almost. It's a very special group, and every advisor receives a lesson, and we meet on a monthly basis, sometimes several times a month. It's grade specific. For our 9th graders, we work with our 9th graders on their transition. So a lot of the skill sets, we do a lot of work with Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teenagers. So we help our students learn how to be proactive, how to begin with the end in mind, how to put first things first, how to understand first, and how to seek understanding before they speak, and how to stay well, how to manage their time, how to have good, healthy relationships with others. This is also the time where we help students with their career exploration. We also have information that we distribute during these times, different activities throughout the school year that we bind each other together as a school through advisory. All right, so we're now going to transition to graduation requirements, and we're going to look at, although it's several years away, it is always important to begin with the end in mind, because 4 years goes really fast, and it also allows us, if we know our why, we know our the end. If we think about graduation, what's required, it gives us a bit more clarity, or a lot of clarity, as we start out of the gate with freshman year. So we're off of a credit threshold system, and the class of 2027, every student needs 26 course-specific credits. There is a graduation project that is required. It's called Project Dreams. There's also an element within the Pennsylvania Act 158 bill of 2018. And part of that, there's the exam called the Keystone Test, where students need to be proficient in algebra, literature, and biology. More about all of that information regarding to Keystones in different communication throughout the school year. Nothing to worry about there, and we'll keep you up to date with it. But our curriculum and our program is meant for students to prepare not only for life, but also exam assessments and things of that nature. The goal is for them to prepare for those items as well. But our main focus is, of course, our curriculum and the way that we deliver that. Specifically to the 26 credits, this is a good graphic to kind of show you the breakdown of those. But we have 4 English credits. We have 3 math credits, 3 science, 3 social studies, 2 arts and humanities. We have 2 credits in PE, which is essentially a PE per semester, and then we have half credit of health. We have 8 electives, and also a half a credit for the graduation project. So all this is 26 credits, and our counselors do a great job as we schedule students to make sure that they have everything that they need per a school year, per a semester, and it's all included here. As I said before, the Keystone Exam Proficiency, most students will take their Keystone exams, typically their 10th grade year. Sometimes with the algebra Keystone, some students have taken that, or will take that 9th grade year. Some take it their later on their 10th grade year. And then, of course, Project Dreams graduation project. They have career development, where that project starts to take form, and then they have graduation project work that continues really each school year with their graduation their project job shadows that are part of the project, And then as a senior, they have presentations for it. And so we always ask our students just to follow our lead. We communicate often and in different ways, and we have courses set up for them to get that information and to actually work on it during the day. Very proud of this project. Our course levels exist in a couple of different levels, and we provide this choice for many reasons. And basically, as we try to meet the needs of our students, we have generally 3 levels that exist. There are some other levels that exist, such as AP, and then other levels that are in addition to level 3. But level 1 is the most challenging. It's a college prep. It's discussion-based. There is some level of outside of class preparation of materials. Level 2, it's still geared for college prep. It's a little bit of a slower pace than level 1. It's more direct teacher support. In addition, there is group work, more group work, and there is some homework, but not as much as you can expect on level 1. Level 3 is a regular education class, very much focused on skills-based. Not to say level 1 and 2 is not, but the focus here is to prepare students for next steps after high school. That may include academic, but certainly workforce, different trades. But again, to stress that there, level 1, 2, same thing. We all know that not every student's going to go off to college after high school, and so these different levels provide a sort of differentiation of how we can help our students based on the needs that they have and the areas of growth that they also need. So course schedule considerations. This is good information for you to know as to what to expect when you're looking at your child's schedule. You saw the preliminary schedule come in the mail just a few weeks ago with my letter to you, and then students will also get a more detailed schedule at freshman orientation on Wednesday, the 23rd. And then again on the first day of school when students are reporting to their advisory location at the beginning of the day. When we announce that for students, they'll get their finalized schedule. So in any case, the major, we try to, our goal is to have every freshman have 6 majors that they have throughout their 2 semesters of their freshman year. And so what a major is, it is a course that meets every single cycle day, such as English or algebra, something of that nature. Or social studies, specifically for 9th graders, maybe American Studies or AP Human Geography. A minor would meet once per a given cycle, for example. Like on a day 2, your child might have PE, for example. In second semester, perhaps they would have something like career development once a cycle. So students have to have health in their first semester. That would meet once a cycle, once every 6 cycle days. And then career development would take place the second semester. And then they would have PE each semester. As when we look at these offerings here, these required courses, where our intent is to help students take care of themselves, their wellness, but also we're embedding those opportunities for them to consider career exploration, to consider healthy choices and responsible decision making as they would learn in health, how to learn group dynamics within PE. And so it's we're proud of this strong foundation of minor courses that exists in addition to their major courses. We always try to encourage our students to think about lining up their courses with their future interests. And not to say that they would take art because they want to be an artist per se, but they would take art because creativity is something that they're curious about or have a passion with or want to explore more. Level selections should be taken very seriously. There's something that in the course of a student's 9th grade year, it takes time to really settle in, and teacher feedback is critical. And on the other side too, it's, we encourage our students not just to settle with maybe a lower level of a course because they want the easy way out, but sometimes to challenge themselves instead of maybe level 2, that they think about level 1. But also we have to take into consideration the teacher feedback as well. Lastly, here on this slide is about schedule changes. With the high school, with our size, 1,400 students, getting closer each year to 1,500 students, it is close to impossible to have to manage all those changes that would have to take place. And so, we have to consider the needs of every student and their selections that they've chosen months prior to the summer. And we also have to determine the needs of the broader range of our student population. And of course, we have to determine staffing and the needs of our teachers and filling their schedules and making sure that our needs are all met. So it's very important that all schedule changes are complete once the school year starts. And that's what the content of my letter sent home to you, and you probably received it early August, was about. And of course, have a communication with your counselor if you have any worries or issues, and they are there to serve you and to help you and to assist. This was shared before about freshman classes, but what to expect on their schedules. They'll have, you probably saw the preliminary, they had semester 1 on one side and semester 2 on the other. As I shared before, health, career development, and PE. They have those throughout semester 1 and 2, PEs on each semester. Health is first semester, career development is second semester. English they'll have on their schedule, either level 1, 2, or 3. American Studies, level 1, 2, or 3. And then also, which is not here, some of our 9th graders will have AP Human Geography. In addition, in science, Earth and Space, level 1, 2, or 3. And then math is determined by their 8th grade math placement. So they'll either be in Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, Trig, or any other, there's other math courses that exist that are not here, but that's what you can expect. We also have a number of elective major options. So these are electives that meet every single cycle day. These range in our World Languages department. There are several languages that students can select. We have business and computer applications electives. We have computer technology, technology education, family and consumer sciences, and the fine arts, music and arts. And even our core departments have electives, for example, in social studies, and there's some others in ELA, and some other different courses in sciences. But typically those options aren't available for 9th graders until their 10th grade year. This is another look at a 9th grade schedule to help to kind of give you a visual of our cycle days, but also to show you how day 6 operates. And so I will kind of share this schedule with you. This is from an actual 9th grade student from the class of 2027. There's no name here, obviously. But this student on day 6, she would start the day in a study hall in room 405, for example. This study hall is going to be comprised of all of 9th graders. We do that on purpose. We think about making a big school small. This student will have the opportunity to interact with 9th graders here, and she's going to have a study hall teacher that interacts with a lot of 9th graders. And so we do that on purpose for students helping each other out with similar courses they're taking, or the teacher in that room is perhaps their teacher in English, for example. From there, in that 85-minute block, then they have period 1, which is you can see here, a smaller class period of 40 minutes. And then once they go there, let's say on this day 6, it's a rotation 5. We'll have rotations 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 throughout, the marking periods. They rotate on this day 5, so day 6, rotation 5. This student would then go to their period 2, day 5 course. So in this case, she would go to PE into the gym. After rotation 5, the next day 6 we have, that's going to go back to rotation 1. And so this student has a study hall, room 227 then, so on and so forth. So that's what day 6 would look like. Within this period 2, then they would go to period 6. The student here has another study hall. And again, one of the things that we'll share, I think I shared before, and we'll share more information down the road, is all the different interventions available for students that are in a Day 6. This student here happens to be in a study hall, but they could also be perhaps in a music ensemble, or they could be in a cooking course, different things that they selected on their schedule. We have help desks available in every core subject area where students can seek assistance from a teacher, let's say in math, for example, or American Studies. They can get that support or finish a quiz or test. They can check out a book from the library. So there's a number of different opportunities that are going on during this time. They will also have lunch during that time period, and we'll let them know what lunch that is. Period 3 and 4 with the regular courses, and then, as you can see, our Freshman Academy every day that you could see here for the 9th graders. All right, so now we're gonna. I just wanted to transition into a visual of our school. This is just a map of one part of our building. This is the map of the second. This is the newer part of our wing in the back by the Wildcat Activity Center. And so not to go too far into this, but it is, if you had students that graduated prior or our upperclassmen, we did update the classroom numbers for our classrooms. And there's reasons for that, but we certainly want to we'll share a map with your student on the freshman orientation to get them acclimated to the wing. This part of the school is under construction. My cursor is. This is the first floor. This is where drop-off would be for students in the front of the building. And so this is currently being renovated, the upstairs and the downstairs. And then also on this corner of the building, this by the gymnasium, this is also under construction. And so not to go too far into any other details, we are a work in progress. Construction is moving along very nicely, and we're pleased to continue to see great results from our teams here, construction and everybody else, as we continue to have school and have construction at the same time. This is our back wing, our rear wing by the Wildcat Activity Center, by the track. This was offline last semester, and now it is online. And we're so proud of this space. And your students, they'll have some classes out here. We really do try to minimize too much travel time in between classes. But there'll be some cases where they're going to be in a class, for example, in 315, and then they'll have a class perhaps in room 140. And we do give students ample time to go from class to class. And we do help our teachers just to make sure they know that there's sometimes travel time between it, but we are very proud of our building and our layout. The layout also exists for two major reasons. You'll see as you come on campus at some point, for example, back to school night on September 7th. But we have increasing enrollment, as you know. We are one of the fastest growing communities, specifically school districts, I understand, on the East Coast. So we're growing, and so we have to get space for all the scholars as they come in. And then secondly, the space is also to assist with our program, our academic program, and the vision that we have for our departments and the real life learning that could take place. This is a map of the layout of our campus, and I'll share this with you because it does help you understand the drop-off pickup areas where students park and where buses are. So buses, they drop off students, pick up students at the end of the day in the back here by Greenacre Street, George Street, and our students at 3:15 as school is finished, that's when they get picked up. The buses come between 8 o'clock and 8:15 in the morning each day, and so that's where they are. And actually this yellow arrow, because of the new wing, it now comes off of Longmeadow Street down this side through this new portion of our back building. So that's where the buses come in and exit. If you drop off or pick up your student, we would ask that you come in through the front entrance, and this ensures a more safe process. If you are picking them up or dropping them off, we always ask that if you are front in line, that you pull it all the way up to allow all the different cars to pull in at this point. And our student drivers, they use our back lots by the tennis courts and by the track. And we have a different parking system out there. It was new as of last school year, but we definitely would ask that if your drop-off pickup is in the front of the building. As construction continues on our campus, we will keep you posted as best as we can if there's anything that changes. In the near future, there might be some more construction that takes place at the front of our building near the pool area. And so we'll keep you posted on developments with our parking and with our pickups and drop-offs. Some other miscellaneous information. We are proud partners of the Cumberland Perry Area Vocational Technical School. 9th grade students will get more information about CTC, as they call it, and they will get information from their guidance counselor within our programming. It's an amazing program. It's been growing, our enrollment to that area, but 10th grade is typically the first year it begins. There are 3-year programs, 2-year programs, where students can select a trade, and they have great success in that school, and they partner with us. There's other alternative pathways to graduation: dual enrollment, internships, co-op, independent studies, online electives. These don't truly apply to 9th grade students, but more information will come in the years to come as they consider these amazing opportunities to get skill sets and college credit if you're taking a dual enrollment while in high school. As mentioned before, career focus is something that is also critical in the life of our MASH students. And as 9th grade students, your children are going to explore possible careers for themselves, post-high school plans, workforce, career, college, military. 9th grade year is the year of exploration. And there's several systems in place that will help with that process. Naviance, Project Dreams, which is our homegrown program that will be spiraling throughout the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade years, culminating in a graduation project where every senior has the opportunity and the requirement, but the opportunity to present in front of faculty from the middle school and the high school. And so it's a very exciting project. Students walk away from that experience with more of a general focus on the path they will head into, if not a specific one. It definitely allows for students to realize areas that they perhaps would not be interested in, and allows them to get experiences in the field as part of this project. So more information to come on that. We have a course here for 9th and 11th graders. It's called Career Development. And it's in that course where students are guaranteed the experience to build up toward their path on this project. They also get skills and interview experience and resume preparation, and in addition to just life skills in this area. Our advisory period, as mentioned before, is something that is also critical in terms of helping students think about their lives and the trajectory of their lives in terms of career and their personal lives and their overall wellness. All right, so communication is vital, as you know. We will share more as we get into events such as Back to School Night, which is on September 7th, so put that in your calendar. But emailing with teachers, we would encourage you to feel comfortable to do so. We also encourage our teachers to make sure their Sapphire gradebooks are updated and that you have their information, which is typically the first few days of school when the syllabus is shared with students. There's that contact information. So communicate with the teachers if you ever have any questions or concerns. As I said, Back to School Night, we have one per semester because as I shared before, the semester change up in January will your child will have a new schedule, the semester 2 schedule, and so we will have that parent-teacher conference in the spring. That'll be in February. We also have parent-teacher conference nights. We'll have one per semester, and the difference between Back to School Night and parent-teacher conference is that parent-teacher conference is an opportunity to sign up for a time block where you will meet with the teacher and you can discuss and share information. Back to school night is more of an overview. You'll kind of travel the schedule of your child and get to meet the teachers and get to hear from our administrative team. You also get a chance to visit counselors, librarian, the nurse, any other services in our high school. So we look forward to seeing you there. The MASH website is also another location to see up-to-date information. Sapphire notification system is going to be our go-to to communicate with you on a weekly basis with the newsletter I'll share with you a little bit more about, but also anything that's key information or things that you need to know. And that's why we ask that you update your Sapphire system so we know the perfect email and phone number to contact in those cases. We do have a Twitter handle at MASH Principals. We will certainly continue to explore more of how to use that. We typically use other ways to communicate like the ones I've mentioned, but that's something that you can certainly check out. And of course, the counselor. The counselor is your go-to in terms of any other thoughts or questions or wonderings that you have in terms of your child. All right, so these are some frequently asked questions as we close our presentation here soon. Can students carry backpacks? They can certainly do that, and we encourage them to do that as they carry their Chromebooks, which they'll get on the first day of school. And it's going to be their place to store their device, their Chromebook, their charger, which we do ask that students charge their Chromebooks after every day after school at home, just like they would with their cell phone, smartphone, if they do choose to carry a device to school. But their backpack would be carried with them throughout the day. Backpacks aren't, they're not as heavy as they used to. Your child having just a couple classes a day and not all of those classes offering textbooks anymore, it's something where we would encourage the backpack. Are students assigned lockers? So students are no longer assigned lockers. Actually, most students do not and have not used lockers over the course of the last decade or so here at school. But we do have lockers. So if students do wish to have one, there will be a process in the first few days of school where they can sign up for one. We also have day use lockers across from the MASH main office, and the counseling office, and the nurse office. And there is a system for them to use that where they can essentially punch in their code number, and then they have to just get their materials out by 3:15 each day. And there is a system and process for them to use for that. So we'll explain that to them in the first few days of school. Bus stop information, you can access that information on the district website. That is their transportation office publishes the bus stop information online. Parent drop-off and pickup, as we shared before on the map, the drop-off pickup is at the front of the building off of the Broad Street side. And we do that location to ensure the safety of the children that are being dropped off, picked up, but it also allows us to make sure our bus ramp is clear and also our back lot where the students who drive are parking. This allows us to have 3 different zones to which we can do that. And with our construction project, we'll certainly communicate if we need to adjust anything throughout the school year. When does the building open? So the building opens every weekday at 8 a.m. And this time here, students have until 8:20 is when the classes start. We have our warning bell at 8:15. And so we would ask that if you are dropping off your children, to make sure that it is well before 8:15 to make sure that they can get to class without being late. Expectation regarding cell phones. This is a common question, and we do ask our teachers to exercise discretion with cell phones. And so essentially what that means is there are most classrooms that would probably in the first few days of school enforce the idea that there is no cell phones, smartphones allowed unless they give discretion to your child to use it for a certain learning activity. As you know, and I know very well that these devices could be something that are useful to communicate, but they are also some of our biggest distractions. One of our goals this year and moving forward is to kind of revert to the responsible use of a device and to teach our children how to use them. It is a very fast world, and these devices have not helped in slowing down our thought processes, our decision making, and also that value of relationships and communication face to face. So we would ask that you continue to support us and partner with us in how we can teach our children responsible use of cell phones. So in the classroom, it is the expectation is that they are not used. That's the default, and then a teacher would provide discretion. A child would have to ask permission to use it in the classroom. In the hallways, we do not allow the use of a cell phone that is out and seen. This is primarily for a safety reason, so students are alert. They don't run into anything, but also they can hear announcements. And it is so ubiquitous in our world around us, but it is the expectation that they are away there. The other word I'll throw out there is sensibility. We don't want to be archaic in our viewpoints of cell phones. Students use them, they carry them to school, and that's so definitely okay. But we want to be sensible in teaching our children when it's appropriate to use it, when it's not. And we also know that when students listen to music, there's benefits to that, but we also want to make sure that they understand when it's appropriate to use it. Dress code. So expectation regarding student dress code, there has been a board update that goes into effect this school year. It is board policy 221, and in my next communication out to you through SMORE, that'll occur before the school year. I'll have some more information that you can check out and review. One of the things that I'll show this image here, this is we had asked our art students, we had a student in particular from the Art National Honor Society, and I asked our staff member to work with this student, and this student came up with a really beautiful graphic here, MASH spirited focus on our students. And when you see in the board policy, some of the biggest changes is for students who used to wear crop tops, that we definitely make sure that the clothing is touching the waistline, so there's no skin showing at the waist. And tube tops, so those are not allowed, but there are some things in that document that we wanted you to preview and check out, and I'll have a link in my next newsletter to you for you to review with your child. But really good job from this student. We're all, of course, trying to make sure that our students have a place that they can go to school that they feel belonging in. But it's also a positive, safe, inclusive learning environment. And we know that that dress is certainly a manifestation of a child's individuality. We have to also make sure that their school attire is appropriate. So more to come on that, but it is Board Policy 221, and I'll have some more information in my next communication with you. So nice job from this MASH student. Finally today, MASH extras. High school is a time to get involved and to be not only to find belongingness in our community here, but to reach out to different groups, to expand their skill sets, to grow, to connect with people. We have a rich and vibrant music, athletic, extracurricular program. During the first month of school, we'll have an extracurricular activity fair, where students will get to explore several options, and so we're very proud of our program here. We wish that our students get involved in something co-curricular, extracurricular in our community or athletic. All right, so updates here. You can expect an update each Friday via Sapphire email. It'll be in a SMORE format. That's a newsletter that you can translate into different languages. In those updates, you can expect just information to come up for the next week, schedules, things for you to know. Final thoughts, we look forward to seeing your child at freshman orientation on August 23rd. It's 11 a.m. You can drop them off at that time, or before that time, 10:50, 10:45. Our presentation will start at 11 o'clock. That will run until 1:45 p.m. We will give lunch to your child. It'll be free, and we'll have some students there to welcome them in. I'm excited for that day to meet them. Sapphire Portal will be active August 24th around 6 p.m. And this is when your child will be able to see, on Sapphire at least, their teachers. And of course, they'll see that the 23rd, but that's when it becomes activated. First day of school is August 28th. Classes begin at 8:20, and so buses and drop-off, just please be assured that's between 8 o'clock and 8:15. Best wishes as we journey together these next 4 years. I am so excited to be your principal here at MASH. This has been a dream come true for me, and I can't wait to partner with you. And my children of my own will be coming through the high school in probably another decade or so. But I am so excited to be a part of this community and to embark on this incredible journey together with you.